Dr. Andrew is a member of our PI Doctors Elite community, so that's great to have him with us here to go over a couple things that Annie's and has been doing with his practice and personal injury. Thanks, Andy.
Since we're on an interviewed thing that other chiropractors are obviously going to watch this, there are questions that I get commonly. I've talked to a gazillion chiropractors over the last 22 years. So one origination that I will get occasionally, and maybe you can field or, say something about this, is what's your viewpoint, or how do you handle this concept of it being kind of funky, like ambulance chaser stuff, right? Like, how do you handle that for yourself? Because that does come up. I'll even have chiropractors that want to do PI, they want to go after it, yet they got this little thing that sits there, which I understand. And I'm not sure how to reconcile that for them. I just tell them, look, that's what you're doing. You are actually contacting car accident victims. You got to be able to you have to be able to like own it and go, I am. So what do you do with that for yourself?
Because if I'm not going to help them, who the hell is?
Right.
I mean, plain and simple. They can go to the emergency room. A lot of people do. And they're like, yeah, I got x-rays, CTs. I had all this stuff done. They said, I'm fine. Here's muscle relaxers, pain relievers, and away they go. And these symptoms stay with them and sometimes get worse, or, they go away and then they come back 2-3 months later, and now it's more of a chronic issue for them. So if I'm not going to help them, who the heck's going to help them? And that's the way I view it. You do have to have some thick skin with it, because there's a negative connotation when it does come to some personal injury things, especially when you're the one initiating the contact. But again, we're coming from a place of wanting to help these people. And yes, it does compensate us well at the end of the day. But there's also a lot more work that goes into it as well. And, so if you don't have the training, if you don't have the knowledge that, PI Doctors Elite community is giving us, and, all these other trainings and stuff too, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. So I think sometimes some of those docs that kind of have that little devil sitting on their shoulder going, oh, you're just an ambulance chaser. I mean, it may be because maybe they need to have a little extra training, a little extra nudge on that end of things too, so that their core competence is a little bit higher for them. Get a little more confident in what they can offer.
I think that to add in a little bit, I think the mindset is what I tell doctors is that you're educating the public. Annie, you are educating the public. Dr. Andrew's educating the public that physicians of chiropractic treat accident cases, because a lot of them don't know. I remember back in the late 80s when I got started, my own patients went other places because I didn't educate them to let them know, hey, I treat accident injury. Oh, I thought you just did my lower back or my neck or headache. And all of a sudden, here now you're bringing out an education. You're in an accident. You have the right. You have the right to get checked out. And the patients and the public is afraid, like, I don't know what to do next. And you're educating as a mindset of how you are helping people. And that's where the doctor's mindset should be, not that you're an ambulance chaser. You're educating, Annie's educating, Dr. Andrew's educating the public and his patients that this is what he does now. He specializes in that. He went through school. He has all the things, technology to help in that. Everything else is hearsay on the procedures wise, because that's just a whole nother story. But I always tell doctors that's the mindset you want. And all right, with that, I want to thank all of you again, and I would just call it this session is now ended. And